Well, hello, thank you for clicking on this video. If you're new here, my name's Jenny from In My Spare Time Crochet. I love all things crochet and yarn. This week I'm going to show you what I have got up to in regards to crochet. I can't show you all of my items because I am working on a turtle pattern roundup video. So some of them I want to keep under my hat until I do that video. But I also am happy to say that I have a sales report for my last month selling items at a local collective on consignment. So I'm going to go through and let you know everything that's sold and also how much I made. So stick around for that. That'll be at the end of the video. But for now, let's just get into this week's vlog. Hello, this is our Monday check-in. It's Monday afternoon. It's been quite a rainy, drizzly day today, so it's definitely been a nice day to be inside and be crocheting. Now, I can't show you everything I've done today because part of it will be for a separate video where I will do a turtle pattern review because as you would know if you've been here for a while, I just love making turtles and I've been making a few. So I have made probably, I'm going to say at least 3 turtles today. Yeah, at least 3 turtles today specifically for that video, but they're pretty cute. They're pretty cute. So I'm just looking at them down on the floor there. So anyway, I do have other finished items to show you though. So at the tail end of my previous video, I'll have the link here if you haven't seen it. I had started working with the new Poppy Crafts yarn that I ordered online. So I think I had made 2 little feet of the dragon, and then so yesterday I decided to finish him and I absolutely love him. I think whilst I wasn't, you know, thrilled with the colour choices, I suppose, of this yarn, I did feel that the light blue and the lavender worked well, like really well together. So, and it's been quite a while since I've made one of the Crochet by Jenni dragons, and I really am very happy with how he turned out. And I'm happy with how the yarn worked up. Little face, honestly. It's just stinking adorable, isn't it? Yeah. So, yeah, it's a thumbs up for me on this yarn. It's pretty, yeah, it's pretty firm. It is definitely thicker, a little bit thicker than the Zaddy Crafts and the Paddy's Plush yarn. So I did use a 5.5mm hook, but I'm really happy with the results. So I did actually jump online last night, I believe, and just ordered a little bit more of it. So, oh gosh, I really wish there was more colours, but anyway, that's okay. But I just thought I would show you that. So yeah, ticked that one off the list and I'm very happy. I almost feel like making another one in the reverse colours. So we'll see, perhaps. The other thing that I made this morning were these 2, oh, that's very hot. These 2 little dinosaurs. Now, I think I'm actually going to make more of these as well because I really enjoyed making them. Now, this was a pattern that I have actually had in my stash for quite a long time. So I'm very happy. And I know I have bought a few patterns recently, but to work from a pattern that I purchased a long time ago does make me very happy. So this pattern is by, it's called The Little Dino, and it's by B2B. B2B. I'm not sure how you say it, but yeah, I really like them. So and like always, the color possibilities endless. So I'm definitely looking forward to making more of these. I'm so happy to have learnt that little technique from Jade about it. Just makes the bobbles so clean. Yeah, love it. I really like the blue and the green together actually. So yeah, I made 2 of those. Now I wish I could show you the turtles, but that, as I said, that is for a separate video, so you will get to see them at some point. So now I'm just sort of, my time's going into making some more turtles, because I think when someone does a pattern review video, I think it's helpful if they've actually made it themselves, so they have, you know, have some little tips or things like that. So I'm going to make as many as possible. Some of them that I will review I have made previously, so I may not have the physical item with me, but I will hopefully have a picture having made it before. So that's the update for today. There'll no doubt be another one tomorrow. This is my last week of holidays, so I need to make the most of it and get as much crochet time in as possible. So look forward to checking in tomorrow. This is a Wednesday afternoon catch up, I guess. Been out today, had a lovely lunch with my 2 girls and my sister and my niece. My niece is pregnant, and as is my oldest daughter, who has literally got a couple of days until her due date. So that was nice that we could all catch up before Bub makes their entrance. So I did that. I went to Lincraft because that's where we were having lunch. That shopping centre is the only Lincraft that's kind of close to me. I don't usually go to Lincraft. I don't love it. I don't like their yarn, but I do much prefer their polyfill compared to Spotlights. I mean, to look at them, it doesn't look like there's much difference. I can't even really articulate what it is about it, but I just definitely prefer the fairy floss feel from Lincraft. Unfortunately, they didn't have any of the 1 kilo bags, so I had to get two 500 gram bags. But with my members discount and a little birthday code that they sent me, it cost me $12 for both of them. So that was a very good price. Now, the other thing I will show you briefly. Now, I spoke in my last little video, I spoke about how I was making some turtles for an upcoming video, and I really don't want to give away too much because I'd rather save it for that video. However, I'm going to give you one little sneak peek, because the one that I finished today, or before I headed out, oh gosh, it's so cute, honestly. Not necessarily the turtle part, but look at that. This is called the Crochet Rose Turtle, and it's a free pattern on the Passionate Crafter blog. So I thoroughly enjoyed doing this section here. I absolutely love it, honestly, and I really love the colors that I chose. Not necessarily, I think it would have been better with bigger eyes, but I just don't have any, so that's okay though. I still think it turned out really great. So, but I'm just obsessed with how the rose turned out. Seriously obsessed with it. So there you go, there's your sneak peek. I'm not going to say too much more because, as I said, it will be in the turtle pattern roundup video that I release in the next week. Fingers crossed, it'll be in the next week. It's going to depend on how many of them I actually decide to make. So anyway, that's where we're at. I am waiting for my daughter to pop in for a quick visit after she picks our little man up from daycare. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that little visit with him. But hopefully there'll be a bit more crochet tonight and a little bit more to show you tomorrow. Hello, a little Thursday morning check-in before I head out to meet a friend for brunch. I just thought I would quickly show you, I couldn't help myself, I made another dinosaur, and oh gosh, I just love everything about this Zaddy Crafts yarn. Yeah, they come up really well. So that is 3 dinos that I have now. Yeah, I just love them, and I'm going to be very interested to see how they do down at the collective. So speaking of the collective, I do need to get down there probably maybe this afternoon, so there may be a little update, but whatever didn't sell for Easter is now being, there was a very big display at the front of the shop and whatnot, so that has been or is being dismantled because the focus then moves on to Mother's Day. So I'm going to go in and take a look and see what didn't sell from the Easter range, I guess. It's probably the Peep Bunnies. I don't know, I could potentially leave any that didn't sell there. You know, they may sell any other time, I'm not too sure, but I'll take a look anyway and see where things are at there. The other thing I need to do is, now when I started at the collective, which was the beginning of March, I was given 50 product codes. Now nothing is automated at this point, which is why it's taking us so long to get our reports, but hopefully that's going to change in the next week or two. But I have 50 product codes, and because I initially wasn't going to be doing plushies until I got my insurance, that is, I started out making soap savers, washers, coasters. I did some little AirPod covers. I will have a link in here to a video if you want to take a look at that for when I was, I guess, getting ready to set up. Now, not much of that has sold. It's really all been about the plushies, I guess, aside from a baby blanket and a couple of bookmarks. But anyway, because I didn't initially have too many items, I decided to have separate codes for some items. For example, the AirPod pouches, I had a different code for each of the 4 colors. I had a different code for some of my washers. But now that I've got a lot more items, I really need to condense that, I suppose. So I'm going to change my tags and have them all the same code, because that's going to then free up some other product codes for example, my dinosaurs. Now I can ask for more codes, but I think for the moment, if I just do some of these changes, it is going to free up probably enough codes for now. And the Peep Bunnies, for example, that code will end up disappearing because I'm not going to be making any more for quite a while. So yeah, that's where we're at. I'm going to look at that and see if I have enough codes to add a few more products, because I've got the little stingrays to add, the little bees, penguins, my little cats, my little kitty cats up there. So yeah, I just kind of need to see where everything's at. I also need to probably readjust my shelving post Easter. And I have decided, I was talking to Emily at the collective, and little Coco, the Cocker Spaniel's not really getting much interest at all. And the more I look at her, I'm just not happy with her eyes. So I'm going to collect her and I'm going to redo her eyes, and then I'm just going to leave her in my Etsy store. But I'm going to replace Coco with this Darling Dragon, I think it's called. I know it's Red Mills Crochet. I will find the link for you and I have it below. But yeah, I really, really love this dragon. So this will become, I guess, the bigger bigger item that might maybe attract some attention. It will be the most expensive, but then there will be other obviously cheaper options below. So I will just replace Coco's code with the dragons. Yeah, so there's a little bit of rearranging to do there. So I'm going to get in and do that, because obviously I go back to work next week after having the school holiday period off, even though I was sick for more than half of it, but that's beside the point. Yeah, so that's the update. If I get down there this afternoon, I will pop back in. Oh, I'm sitting here petting the dragon. Can't help myself. I think it's the faux fur yarn. Yeah, but if I manage to get down there, I'll pop back in for another little update and then show you, will tell you what I've managed to do. The other thing I did this morning, which again I'm going to just keep it aside because it's for a separate video, but I did make a little sunflower turtle. This was a pattern by Kind Maker. It was one I purchased on Etsy, and yeah, it turned out really cute. It's in a pack of three different turtles. So I think there's one for a daisy, one for a sunflower, and there's another option. I can't recall what it is. But anyway, I'll give you a little update probably later on this afternoon. Okay, so in usual fashion, as it's going lately, I didn't check in again. I thought that I had, but I didn't check in again. It is now Sunday. I have been very, very busy though. As I mentioned in my last clip, I went down to the collective. I removed Coco. I added some of my recent items. I took in both of my dragons, and I just rearranged my shelving a little bit. So I did get a small amount of footage, so I'll pop that in here somewhere. But I decided after a discussion with Emily that what didn't sell out, like from the Easter stock, I'm just going to leave it there for the moment. She does believe that the Pete Bunnies will still sell. So I'll give it probably about another month, and if they haven't, then I'll remove them and pop something else in. Now, obviously, Mother's Day is really creeping up, to be honest. I thought I had a lot more time than what I do. So I'm going to be really stretched for time to make items for Mother's Day. I still have quite a lot of washcloths, AirPod covers. I've still got my Kindle covers, and I've got coasters. So I do have some items there that would be appropriate for Mother's Day, but I was planning on making some extra things. I'm considering maybe some plant plushies, or maybe some lavender or tulips or something like that, but I am definitely going to be pushed for time, so I need to quickly figure out what I'm going to do there. Now, in regards to crochet, I certainly have been busy over the last couple of days. I made another, it's one I can't show you because it's for my turtle pattern roundup video, but it was a very, very, very labor intensive turtle. So, and I'm super happy with the outcome. It turned out great, but unfortunately I can't show it to you. So you'll have to just hang around for that one. But I then started on, I had one more, well, I'm still actually waiting on my customer to get back to me about the Evil Eye hanger. She's just disappeared, so I'm not sure if she still wants that, but that's okay because I might go ahead and make it anyway, and then I can sell it. So I had one remaining custom order, and that was for, I think the pattern's called Little Bailey. I'll have a picture in here, and it is a dog, a very, very gorgeous dog. Now, in the pattern, it looks like it's been made with some kind of, like maybe parfait chunky or something similar. So I figured that it'd be fine to use my my Zaddy Crafts and my Paddy's Plush yarn. So maybe it's a little bit thicker, but either way, Bailey ended up not so little. He's quite big, and it turned into a very big job, much bigger than what I'd anticipated. So I'm, you know, I can't undercharge on this one, because he's taken me the best part of today to finish, and I had made his head yesterday. So I've lost track of how many hours this guy has taken me, but he is absolutely adorable, I think. I'm so happy with my choice of eyes in the end. I had, I'm not exactly sure how many. I think that's probably around about a 20 mil black safety eye. I then just did a little bit of the plush chenille there around his eye, and then gave him some little eyebrows. I think the nose turned out well. Oh, wow. He took quite a long time. For the most part of the body, you're working with 60 stitches per round. So that gives you, you know, a bit of an indication as to how big he is. Fairly early on, and there's a lot of color changes too. So fairly early on, it seemed like according to the pattern, I just seemed to be a little bit off. I also yarn over. But anyway, I kind of, in regards to the color changes, I sort of ignored the pattern. I just made sure that I had the same number of stitches. I ignored the pattern and just did my own color changes. So it's not exactly the same, but it's pretty close. But yeah, what do you think? Honestly, I couldn't be happier with him. Look at that little face. So what I think I'll do is I've come up with a price that I'm going to tell, you know, my colleague, and I don't want him to feel any pressure. If he doesn't want to pay that much, that's totally fine. I will pop him in the shop or in my Etsy store, because yeah, as I said, and your materials alone, there's a lot of polyfill in there. I used a lot of yarn. I ended up playing a pretty mean game of yarn chicken at the end with the white, because I have no more. So I was very lucky to make it, because otherwise I would have had to just, yeah, change out and, you know, put a different color here. And I wanted to try and keep it white if possible. So there we go. That's Not So Little Bailey. So here's my final make for the weekend and the week. My body needs a rest now, I think. I need a little crochet break. I'm tired. I had a little bit of a late night. I'm also still on baby watch, and I think I kind of expected that maybe last night was going to be the night. It wasn't, but my poor daughter's quite unwell actually, so I'm hoping she makes a pretty quick recovery before she has to go through labour. So anyway, that's what's happening. The last thing I'm going to do is give you a very good sales report from the last month at the collective. My email came through last night, so I was happy to wake up to that. So what I will do is, assuming I still have pictures of all of said items, I will pop them on the screen for you. I won't go through, I don't think I'll go through every individual price, although I can. Okay, I'll go through. I'll go through the prices. Now, bear in mind that you may think it's expensive, not expensive enough, but you know, this is, I always said it was going to be a little bit of trial and error. And so far, my prices are working quite well at the collective. So yeah, I'm happy with them. But anyway, and these are in Australian dollars, of course. So I have a feeling there might be a couple of the little mini chicks missing from here. I'm not too sure, but either way, this is pretty much what I sold in the 4 weeks post my last report. So this is going up until the 20th of April. I'm just going to be looking down at my little list here. So, and these are in no no particular order really. So I sold 2 large spiders. There was one in brown, a brown variegated, and one in a grey variegated, and they sold for $35 each. Now I sold a bookmark. I'm not exactly sure which one it was. It was either one of the heart bookmarks or the one with the little flower and the heart at the bottom. That I sold that for $5. I sold 2 chicks in eggs, so that leaves me with no more there. So that's the hatching chick pattern by Louis and Berg. So I think I'll have to make a couple more of those. Did I say how much? $35. Okay, I sold 2 axolotls, and these are 2 like fairly large axolotls, you know, compared to what a lot of market preppers and that make. So I sold 2 of those at $30 each. I sold one of my blue fidget keychains for $12. Now the Pete bunnies, they were a hit leading up to Easter. I sold 10 of them at $15 each. I sold 5 of my small octos. I'm not exactly sure of the colours, although the pink and the purple I think were fairly popular, and I didn't have really any more yarn to sort of keep going in that colour, so I had to add in some extras. But I sold 10 of those at $15 each. Oh, sorry, but I sold 5 of those at $12 each. 2 of my Bob Booty Frogs, that's a pattern from Tracy at Travel Crochet, so I sold 2 of those for $12 each. 1 of my chicks in bonnets, which was a free Instagram pattern, and I sold that for $19. Now, according to my report, I only sold 2 baby chicks, but I know that I made, I'm pretty sure, 6 in total, and I don't think that any more are remaining, so I will have to look into that. But they were $9, and I know that they were pretty popular, so I'll just have to work out the amounts. I sold 3 of my, what I was calling my seated bunnies. This was a free pattern from YouTube by Danica Makes Things. I also sold 3 of those at $23 each, and I also sold one of my washcloths, and I believe it was a pink one, and I sold that for $15. So that's 4 weeks worth. That was a total of $592.80, and once my commission came out, I was left with $536.59. So I'm beyond happy with that. I factor in my commission, what I'm going to have to pay. I factor that into all of my prices. So that means that since I started the 1st of March through to the 20th of April, I've made $654.96. So I'm only around about $90 off what I outlaid for rent for the 6 months. So I'm very happy with that. Obviously, I paid a lot of money to get my insurance so that I could sell the plushies, but I'm okay with that. I've also made Etsy sales and things like that as well. So to be able to recoup that money as well would be fantastic. But, that insurance is for a whole year. So I've got quite a lot of time to do that. But either way, it's going really, really well. I honestly couldn't be happier. I think the smaller items are definitely proving to be very popular. So I've taken in my little sitting bees, the little penguins, a couple of those on Thursday. I also took in the couple of small spiders. I haven't taken in my little stingrays yet because I would actually like to make some more rather than just taking 2, and I also need to make some more snakes. So once I guess finish with my Mother's Day focus, I will get onto that. But honestly, I'm really, really happy. So if you have any questions, especially if you're in Australia and you like the sound of selling on consignment, that kind of thing, I'm more than happy to answer any of your questions if you have any. But Personally, thus far, I'm finding it a really, really great experience. I've said before, I've met a lot of awesome people in the other vendors and Emily, and yeah, it's been great. So I hope you found that interesting, you know, hearing about the sales and the, you know, what I've earned and things like that. But I think I will wrap it up for now so I can get myself organized, I can edit this vlog and have a rest. I'm tired. I'm gonna have a rest. So I hope you've all had a great weekend, and I look forward to seeing you sometime next week, hopefully for my turtle pattern roundup video, although I do still need to make a few more before I finish that. So either way, I will see you soon. Thank you for being here. Please leave me some kind of emoji. Let me know what you're working on if you've managed to make it this far. But I'll see you soon. Bye for now.